What is up, guys? Ncaa31 here. Got a lot to do. This is going to be a video Rama weekend between the college football games. So we're spitting it out. We're halfway through both the NFL and college football season. I haven't gotten to the run and shoot yet. So here it is. This is my spread playbook for Ncaa for the foreseeable future. For as long as Ncaa is playable online. And what was I trying to accomplish here? I was trying to accomplish a couple of things. I wanted to get a Baylor type of feel as far as really maximizing spreading the field from sideline to sideline, but that's really tough to do in this game because you don't have the proper line splits and alignment splits of the wide receivers either, for a variety of reasons. One, they're not in the game, the field is too small as far as width goes, and things of that nature. So the only way to really do that is by formation. So you've got a lot of empty and 5 wide. You got 4 5 wide and empty sets, and then it's really spread, and trips with a couple of wildcat sets here. And while you would think pass heavy, I actually want to be more balanced than if I'm running an air raid or a run and shoot. And I got plenty of stuff here to enable you to run the football. I kind of want to combine the Baylor style of spreading the field horizontally with the Brian Kelly style of attacking the field vertically in the passing game, with the Urban Meyer style of spread running game. So that is the method behind my spread playbook madness. And just under 300 plays, 292, 16 formations, so it's not too bulky. And just to take you through what we have here, again, 5 wide, but I will run the ball. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you're facing light boxes and 2 deep, run the dang football. And you got your complement of wide receiver screens. And 5 wide, I'm going to try to get the ball out quicker than hold for shots downfield for obvious reasons, protection reasons first of all. And I try to not mirror or duplicate route concepts too much between formations. It's hard to do because EA and their infinite wisdom doesn't allow you to choose every concept out of every formation. So you kind of have to mix and match it, and at the same time, try not to make it too bulky and repetitive. Again, empty spread. Got your jet sweep, QB blast, motion HB option, motion read option, the slot option there with play action off of that, play action verts. Stick and nod and curl shakes for those man beaters. Empty tray, QB blast. This is kind of basically like an empty wildcat set almost, with the ability to throw the football. Jet sweep, fake jet, QB power, and play action, wide receiver screens. More air raid style passing out of the 5 wide sets and empty sets. I like this variation of smash. Smash dig, smash to the left, and you have those vertical clear outs with the post in the corner with a dig underneath it. That's vintage, vertical clear out, vertical stem type of route concept. Explode vertically, break off underneath. Same with a double in there. I like Gator Heavy. Don't know why, I just do. Get your Tim Tebow on if you have a Tim Tebow type of quarterback. Or, you can go Wildcat in this as well. Got more zone blocking in this. Motion read option to both sides with the load option, and play action off of the jet sweep, motion option and load option. You'll see a lot more play action than in my usual playbooks. I really want to get the ball downfield off a play action, and when I want to pass once I have the run set up. Really like this drag underplay. Combination zone man beater. Drag corner concept there to your right. Double move deep in or intermediate in concept. So you have basically the shallow cross and the follow by the slot. You can go corner to the tight end, double move on that first cut if you have the matchup there. Same thing with the mesh. You have the option route with the mesh. They'll either continue to drag or sit, and they have the high-low between the back and the circle wide receiver. Double move to the left if you catch someone leaving a guy on an island. Lots of high-lows. Very simple reads, but more aggressive than the ball control that I typically like to do out of the power raid. Again, lots of zone blocking with the QB wrap. I like to mix in what type of options I put in rather than just stick to the, vanilla zone read. Like I'll go dart read option here with the pulling lineman, pulling tackle, the midline, and the speed. Comeback Z post a play that I really like. You can get that comeback off out of zone if that slot guy is able to run off and occupy any curl flat defender. Cross and follow. Switch is really nice. This is one of my favorite plays in the entire game. You got that sharp angle route by the tight end, which is tough to cover out of man coverage. You have that deep dig route, that square end route, running underneath it, or over it rather, against zone. So if someone is squatting down on that tight end, you can hit that behind it, and you have the switch to the left, the deep post going behind that, and the corner route as well. Check down to the tight end, not the tight end, but to the back. So if you're reading versus zone, it's just a simple high-low read. You can hit that post off the first move on an inside cut against cover 3, cover 4 sometimes, depending on whether or not those routes on the right side have developed to occupy people. You can always dump it down to the back when in doubt. Same thing with strikes, HB seam. How often do you see this dang, corner route, flat route combo? This little wrinkle here has the HB shooting right up the seam there. You can hit him really quick against blitzes and against zone as well. And when they squat down, you can open up stuff behind it. Pulling lineman with the read option, this time the guard, and the tackle and the counter. When I'm running read option or QB runs out of spread sets without a tight end, I like to have more pulling lineman action. When I have a tight end on the field, I'll go more zone blocking. Play action, double screen. You got your air raid here, smash corner, basically the same thing as the corner HB seam, but inverse. Go midline here, and the triple option out of the trip set. So a lot more option out of this playbook as opposed to my air raid, and a lot more downfield passing and a lot of play action. Comebacks, another great play. A lot of ways to stretch the field and break routes off underneath or wide. On this comebacks play, it's going to look like all three of those guys are going vertical down the seams. You have the slot running a clear out to occupy the safety, which will give you an isolation outside. You put a guy who's using a linebacker into a bind, whether he wants to cover the tight end or a guy who's covering a rubber defender, whether he wants to cover the not the tight end or but the X receiver, whether it be wide receiver or tight end you have in there, whether he wants to cover the seam or the post, you can hit the check down hook with a halfback, and if you have one-on-one outside, you got a one-on-one deep comeback to the left. Personally, I like to always read my primary receiver just so I don't fall into predictable patterns as far as who I'm throwing the ball to out of what set and out of what situation. But again, just use your eyes. No need to reinvent the wheel. If you see something obvious, obviously attack it. But it's always good to keep your opponent guessing as to who your primary is on a given play and just take what's there. Take what your opponent is allowing you to take. Curl flat wheel. This is a run and shoot standby. You have the option route being run to the left, and you have the wheel being run by the slot right behind that curl. Sometimes you can catch people biting down on that curl, and you can hit that wheel right behind the defense. Blast and wrap. I very seldom have blast and wrap in the same formation. This is one of the rare formations that I do. And I go back and forth with inverted veer constantly. Sometimes I hate it. Sometimes it works. The problem with inverted veer is a couple of things. One, the way the back aligns. He always gets out ahead of the pulling lineman. And the way that the back aligns will also tip off the guy what you're running if he's paying attention. You can only really run two things, inverted veer or play action inverted veer. So if you have inverted veer in a formation, you're pretty much forced to have the play action version of it in there and run it enough to at least make someone guess wrong half the time. Play action read option is a great pass play. Drag, follow, post, and the solo side receiver running it out. So if you have off man or press man with no safety help, no adjustments on that side, you can do some damage there. Inside smash. I like to mix this in just to make the smash concept out of trips a little harder to key on. This is basically a spacing play with a wheel and a corner route. It's basically a wide corner. And you just pop to whichever one of those levels come open. With smash, it's important not to get greedy. If the hitches open up, hit the hitches every single time until your opponent rolls coverage or calls plays to take it away. Cross flood, double post. That's all it is. I like to look to the circle before the X, because people will tend to manually jump on the X first. Wing trip sweep. Y lead read option. This is a really pretty play. When you get that tight end pulling around with a man advantage with the halfback keep, it can cause a lot of damage. X dig is basically a inverted version of X follow. You have the shallow cross and the dig running behind each other with the seam route, clearing out anybody, and the quick hitch. You can always hit the back as well. ISO Poco will roast man coverage, and again you have the vertical releases with the drag coming underneath it. Split end drag, vertical releases with the drag coming backside. There's a method to how I put these books together, folks. It's not just a random collection of pass plays. Then we have Y trips. QB power slot option inverted ver. And of course you gotta have play action inverted ver. Play action double hooks. Smash and a curl. Reed is an interesting play. This deep curls play I don't really like too much. I'll probably junk it only because the angle route and the post route by the tight end, they kind of get in each other's way. I'll probably junk that. Then we have 2 Wildcat sets. Where I want to throw some muscle or some gimmicky kind of stuff out there to go along with the heavy. So that is my spread playbook, Wildcat spread and Wildcat normal. That is my spread playbook, my vertical spread, aka the Ncaa gun. The Buffalo Bills had the K gun, I have the Ncaa gun. And that is what I'm going to be running Season 2 in Powerhouse with Andrew Hendricks. And, you know, as usual, you guys are welcome to try it. And hopefully it works out for you. Take care. Peace.